About 4 months ago, towards end of last year, something unusual happened. I was really feeling so homesick. I've never felt that way before in my life. And partly, I would attribute it to a lot of things which I'll share on this platform as well. And as you, for a whole year last year, we were talking about all the changes that were coming about in terms of immigration. And the reason why I've mentioned that, I would want to believe that it does contribute to you feeling a bit low, feeling homesick, when you are not sure whether you're going or coming. That's how I was feeling towards end of last year. And it made me think long and hard. Of course, I was functioning. I was going to work. I was doing everything. I was being present even for my family. However, deep inside, I was crashing. I was dying because I was missing that connection with home. And I did something that was quite unusual. I shared a post on Facebook talking about being away from home for a long time, because this July it will be 4 years since I came to the UK and have never been to Zimbabwe. And of course, a lot of things have happened back home. I've lost family, close family. I've missed birthdays. I've missed milestone things within the family. My brother got married just recently. So it's those little things really that make you even miss home even more. But the reason why I'm making this video is because most of you, if not all of you, on this platform have been a part and parcel of the one thing that I want to share in this video, which is the fact that I'll be going home this year. The tickets are booked. So guys, without wasting much time, let's get right into it, because it only started with one Facebook post, and the overwhelming messages that people sent to my inbox, the comments, made me really think long and hard, made me feel that I wasn't alone, because some of the messages people shared stories about how they spent years and years without visiting home. Some spent more than 20 years, 10 years, 15 years. And some who are newbies to the country, who came during the COS era, shared with me in those comments and in those DMs that I'm in the same boat. It's been 3 years and I haven't been home. And they shared with me a lot of reasons, really valid reasons why they haven't been able to. And I'll share all of that in this video. So guys, let's get right into it. Growing up, I was surrounded by a lot of family and friends who lived in the diaspora, and what I thought was the life they were living changed when I came over. I always thought when you go abroad, and I know most people think that way, that if you go abroad, you have it all together. But guys, let me give you an insight into what happens behind the scenes. Besides working, most of us do work bare minimum wage jobs, because I came to the country as a caregiver and I'm still working as a caregiver in the country because of the nature of my visa. So it's not like you're making much. And that doesn't exempt you from all the bills that come with you living in a foreign country. The bills are real. Cost of living has been high. I remember I've shared in a video before on this channel. Do make sure you go and watch it. Why I said when I first came, £10 would stretch you as far as, I don't know, you would actually fill a basket in a grocery store. But now, just for the same amount of shopping, you nearly need about 50 quid. So cost of living is really a reality. It's high over here. And I must say, I'm African and I'm Zimbabwean for that matter. So for us, in as much as you're working and you've got all this, we have some obligations back home. We do support our parents back home. My mom and dad still live in Zimbabwe. So we do send something home every now and then. I always think about it because I'm always sharing with my colleagues about that culture of us having to send something back home, us having to look after our parents. Not that I'm complaining, but these are some of the things that when people look at it, and sometimes you get asked, when are you coming home? It's difficult for you to share all of these things. Not to even mention how people are struggling trying to sort out their papers. For some, just depending on the circumstances in which you came. And obviously, even if someone came on a work visa, that doesn't exempt them from the dilemma of sorting out or regularizing their immigration status in the country. Some came on a 1-year visa, some on a 2-year visa, some on a 3-year visa, which needs renewed every now and then. Some came with families. I came with my husband and our 2 children joined us a bit later on in the year. So that alone puts pressure on you. And sometimes it's those little things that you really cannot explain to family. You cannot explain to friends back home. One of the things that a lot of people shared with me was the shame of going back home. Depending on people's circumstances, some came when they were well up. Some came when they were coming from nothing. This was a big breakthrough. And the nature or the amount of things that they're having to rectify back home, sometimes you're caught in between weighing the amount of money that you would have to fork out for you to make the trip back home. You'd say, but I would rather put that into maybe fixing things back home, maybe sorting things out at my parents' house, making sure they are living, not in comfort, but they're living comfortably. I'm one of those people who I don't come from a well-up background. And I knew this breakthrough wasn't just for me alone. This breakthrough wasn't just for my children alone, but it was for me to change the narrative of things back home. It was for me to change things for my family. So all of those things do contribute. And I must admit that not once, not twice, but on a number of occasions when I felt that homesick and I would feel like I want to go back home. I would think of all the outstanding things that need to be done back home. And I would go like, would it make sense for me to just turn up? And yet my parents are struggling with ABC. Would it make sense for me to turn up, to have spent maybe £2,000 on flights alone when I know they've got a leaking roof, when I know they've got a broken windows or anything that needs fixed at the house? So I know I'm not the only person who is in that boat. A lot of people are having to think about all the things that they have to fix back home before they can start then saying, I want to make the trip home. I want to do this and this. Not to mention, for some people, they have got families, they've got children here. So when you're planning that trip, you're thinking, do we all go, the 4 of us? Do we all go, the 6 of us? Or depending on the size of their family. So all those things, again, will affect the cost of travel. And for some, they would say, well, just let one parent go or let both parents go and leave the children. But then you're thinking, where do I leave those children? Who do I leave them with? Because life over here, people really do work. People go to work. So you would have to think and plan your trips, not to mention timing. I think I cannot compress all of that in this one video. So I will share some of the struggles that people shared from that one post that I shared on Facebook, which was overwhelming, and I learned a lot of things. And one of the things that are outstanding that I learned in that video, in that post, was the fact that sometimes we need to be kind, even to strangers, even to people that we don't know, kind in our comments, kind about people's journeys, because you don't know what people are struggling with. The number of people that shared that I haven't been home in so many years, I'm homesick, I left my children, it made me think and count my blessings. But however, that did not discount the fact that I was homesick and I had to do something about it. People shared really some practical tips on planning some of these journeys. Some who have done it for the first time after so many years, some who are doing it, some who are traveling with families. And some of the practical tips that they shared with me that stood out was the fact that just sometimes pay for the tickets well in advance. Even if you want to go next year, book the tickets and then so you know to plan ahead. One of the tips that they shared was just mark the dates, mark the time that you want to travel so that you can start financially planning for when you want to go. Part and parcel of the practical advices and tips that people shared in that post were the fact that, you know what, don't wait for you to have it all together. You want to go home, you want to see your parents and siblings, you need that connection, your mental health needs it. Just plan for going because you can never have it all figured it out. Part and parcel of the tips as well that people shared with me was the fact that, you know what, don't overthink the whole thing. Because most people will be thinking, oh, if I go home, where will I stay? How will I do this? How will I cope with this? Just don't overthink it. Tick certain boxes first. Plan. It's all about planning. That's why I'm making this video, to share how I've been planning. I started thinking about this 4 months ago, and 4 months into the whole thing, the one thing that I've managed to do is to book the tickets. So now we know that's out of the way. Not because we're financially there, not because we have it together, but we've come up with certain things that we know. Let's tick this off, let's get this done, and then we'll know. And so for us, when we sat down last year, when I was really homesick and I shared with my husband, we picked the month that we wanted to travel. And I must say, it actually helped even as we were serving, as we were prioritizing the things that were on top of our list. And just last month, we were setting out our plans for the year, our financial plans, our vision board for the year. And one of the major things that we have put on that vision board is to travel back home. And I'll be sharing that whole journey with you because I know there are a lot of lessons. I'm also learning a lot of things which I really want to share with all of you on here. If you're homesick, if you've even been able to go back home, it's not because you're failing. You are not failing. We've been in a situation before, and it doesn't mean that you will not go. Don't feel the pressure. Do not succumb to that pressure of, oh, everybody's gone home. Don't succumb to that pressure where if family, friends are consistently asking, do what works for you. Do it because you can afford it. Do it because you need it. Don't do it because the next person has done it. Do not do it because you've seen a friend do it. Do not do it because you've seen Florence doing it. Because I've seen people go into debt because there's so many options when it comes to how you would pay for your flight tickets. I'll do a separate video on how we have managed to pay for our flight tickets because there are so many ways in which you can do it. But the last thing that I would advise against would be to go into debt simply because you want to travel back home. I haven't had it all figured out, the whole experience and stuff, but just from asking and inquiring, I know it will cost much. We are African like that. I've been sharing with a colleague that when you get home, each and every household that you visit, you have to go with something. That's just how we were brought up. And that would require finances, that would require for you to have a proper plan of how you're going to do it, how you're going to fund it, because it's not because if you go home, bills will stop here. They won't stop. They'll still be waiting. Things that need to be done will still be waiting. So we need to be wise about the whole thing. So now that the tickets are booked, I know most of you will be having questions. Oh, are you financially there? Are you done building? Are you done sorting out things back home? Are you done sorting out your paperwork? No, none of that is finalized or certain, but it's the peace of mind that comes with knowing that we're going, knowing that around this time we will be traveling. And guys will be sharing with you that journey because we've come so far with each other and there's so much to learn from each other. There's so much to learn in when we share these steps, when we share these milestones. I would say it's a milestone because it's nearly 5 years and we haven't been home. And I know a few months ago, I was talking to a friend who is in Australia and she was breaking it down for me to say, Flo, you're not alone. We live in Australia, but we've only been home once. And they've been over there for, I don't know, over 5 years. And she was telling me how the first trip is very important. It's a connection trip. It's a grounding, a trip. She shared with me a lot of tips, which I think I'll share with you in a separate video. Because again, it's all credit to her and to all of you for sharing your journeys and how you're doing it. Because you gave me the courage to say, you don't have to have completed everything. You don't have to have it being a perfect trip. It doesn't have to be one where you will go holiday, flashy life, living the life. It's a connection trip. It's a grounding trip. It's especially if you've got parents back home, it means a lot. And I salute those that have been making those connection trips. And I urge you to keep it going if you can afford it. I've lived the diaspora struggle and reality, starting from nothing, working the long shifts, having to study, upskill, upgrade, this and that. I've done all of that. It's not easy. It's not easy. But I thank God because grace has carried us through. Grace has carried us this far. And like I said when I started this video, this is not a video to complain. It's not a morning video because I'm excited. We are finally here where we know the next step, where we know what's happening, where we know what's going to happen next. And I'm grateful for that alone. I am grateful. It takes a lot of growth. It takes a lot of discipline, financial discipline, emotional discipline, because if I am to admit, I hope my husband will be able to share at some point how some days when I'm really feeling low and feeling so down, I just go like, why can't we just buy the tickets and I'll go? But it took a bit of grounding, a lot of learning to be disciplined, to know that timing is everything. And I'm just grateful that we are at this stage where we know exactly that this summer we will be traveling back home. We will be traveling to Zimbabwe, which is quite humbling. And I've got a lot of other things that I want to share with you because it's going to be one of those, I don't know, I don't know, but I'll be sharing on this platform. And some of you may ask, why are you sharing this in this video? The reason why I'm sharing is because I know a lot of you are here, a lot of you are going through the same, where they're thinking, well, I'll go back home when I have it all together. I'll plan my trip home when I'm financially there. I'll plan the trip back home when I get my indefinite leave to remain. But we've been in the country for long enough to now know that nobody knows when it's going to be there. Just if you're feeling it's what you need, if you're feeling you need that connection, if you're feeling, because again, I shared initially, it was starting to affect me in my work, in my day-to-day interactions, even with my kids. And I knew it's going to eventually get to a point where it's going to affect my mental health. So this is just to encourage you to say, don't wait until you figured it out. You don't have to have it all sorted out for you to know that you need to go home. There's never a perfect moment when it comes to all of this, because the bills are waiting. Sending money home is waiting. Studying, upskilling is waiting. That switch is waiting. All the things that you need to do before you know it, that mortgage is waiting. This and that is waiting. So go because you need to. Go because it's what your mental health needs. Go because it's what you're longing for. There's a lot, I'm sure, that comes with making that trip, making that connection. That's the reason why I'm sharing this video, to say if you really feel it is what you need, it's doable. We don't have it all figured out. We do not have it all together. We're not financially there. We're not even there paper-wise, but we've decided we're going to make this trip this year. And we're excited to share with you that at least the tickets have worked. So guys, we're still building, we're still budgeting, we're still even struggling, we're still having to work the overtime, work the extra shifts to make ends meet. And the only thing that is exciting is we're doing everything that we're doing from a point of clarity. So we will be sharing this whole journey, the planning, the emotions, everything that will go into it. We shall be sharing on this platform. So join us here, walk with us this journey, find courage, find inspiration to do it in your own way, do it in your own time, no pressure at all. But we will be sharing on this platform because we are so excited and we know it's doable, because finally we've done it, booked the tickets. Otherwise, the rest of what's going to happen, the rest of what's needed, we have got no clue how we're going to do it. But here is where we are. So guys, that's all I had for you in this video, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye for now.